I want to thank the Cobalt Institute for hosting this event and allowing me the opportunity to speak to the individuals and organizations that know the cobalt industry better than anyone. I also want to thank the Cobalt Institute for this year's focus on powering the green economy. You have chosen a topic that is foundational to our mission here at the Department of Energy and the economic ambitions of this administration. The Biden administration has laid out a bold agenda to address the climate crisis and build a clean and equitable energy economy that achieves carbon pollution-free electricity by 2035 and puts the United States on a path to achieve net zero emissions economy-wide no later than 2050. Decarbonizing the transportation and power sectors will require a multifaceted strategy, and energy storage will play a crucial and leading role. As many of you know, tackling the climate crisis will require a historically unprecedented scale-up in manufacturing of key climate and clean energy technologies, creating a demand for critical minerals that is unprecedented. According to the International Energy Agency, by 2040, cobalt demand from the energy transition will grow by a factor of 20. However, demand growth alone will not be the only challenge. In the last 2 years, we've faced a series of crises that have wrought severe disruptions to global supply chains, leading to price spikes and market volatility for various commodities. Russia's unjustified war in Ukraine has introduced further instability to markets and is leading to big shifts in energy and security policies as the United States unites our partners and allies in support of Ukraine's defense and to further isolate Russia for its aggression. With these historic disruptions, President Biden has elevated supply chain issues to the highest level of policy priorities for this administration. And his executive order on America's supply chain reflects this imperative. It should come as no surprise that this executive order placed significant emphasis on both critical minerals and advanced batteries. In line with President Biden's directives, the Department of Energy has long been aware of the challenges that critical minerals pose to our clean energy technology deployment objectives. Over a decade ago, Department of Energy produced analysis that identified critical minerals as an area of essential focus. That analysis has been complemented by targeted investments in research and development in support of our commitment to diversifying supply, developing substitutes, and improving recycling and reuse. Since 2013, we have supported the Critical Materials Institute, CMI, at Ames Laboratory, which accelerates innovative scientific and technology solutions to develop resilient and secure supply chains for critical minerals. We're very proud of the exemplary research and development at Ames Laboratory, including its 6 R&D 100 awards, one of which was a breakthrough in strengthening samarium cobalt magnets. CMI is not alone in its outstanding productivity and resulting innovations. Many of our program offices here at the department have funded a diversity of applied and fundamental science in critical minerals and materials, using a variety of our many funding tools, including the very successful Small Business Innovation Research Awards. This foundational work has positioned the Department of Energy to make historic contributions in tackling the critical mineral supply chain challenges of clean energy technologies. As directed by President Biden's executive order, in February of this year, we released America's Strategy to Secure the Supply Chain for a Robust Clean Energy Transition, our nation's first comprehensive plan to secure a domestic clean energy industrial base. This sweeping report lays out dozens of critical strategies the U.S. government will take to build a secure, resilient, and diverse domestic energy supply chain and is supported by 13 separate issue-specific deep dive assessments covering topics from energy storage to specific critical minerals like the platinum group of metals and other catalysts. It lays out more than 40 actions that the federal government, beyond our department, is already taking or is now committed to taking to secure a resilient and robust energy base, and that takes bold action on the climate crisis. The reports also lay out about 20 recommendations for congressional action on the energy supply chain. The U.S. government has never sought to define the energy industrial base before, and we are enormously proud of this defining work, which will enable us to address identified risks through the massive financial commitment that Congress and President Biden have made here at the Department of Energy. As I'm sure you're all well aware, in November of last year, President Biden signed the Bipartisan Infrastructure Investment and Jobs Act into law. You may be less familiar with the fact that the law provides more than $62 billion for the Department of Energy, including more than $7 billion to invest in the battery supply chain. And among other extremely important initiatives, it provides for an expansion of authority for Department of Energy's Loan Program Office to invest in projects that increase domestic supply of critical minerals and to invest in manufacturing zero-carbon technologies for medium and heavy-duty vehicles, trains, aircraft, and marine transportation. We're not wasting any time in making the most of the responsibility and tools that Congress and the President have provided us. This spring, the Loan Programs Office offered a conditional commitment to lend up to $107 million to Sierra Technologies to expand its capacity to produce natural graphite-based anode materials for lithium-ion batteries at its facility in Louisiana. 2 weeks ago, we announced the first tranche of funding for the battery supply chain, $3.1 billion for materials processing and battery manufacturing. We also announced a separate $60 million to support second life applications for EV batteries, as well as new processes for recycling materials back into the battery supply chain. As evidenced by these announcements, the Department of Energy is committed to building out the battery supply chain. But we know that financial assurances alone are not enough. Collaboration throughout the federal government with industry and other key actors and with international partners will be crucial to fundamentally altering and accelerating the expansion of the domestic and global battery supply chain. In 2020, the Department of Energy, the Department of Commerce, Department of Defense, the State Department launched the Federal Consortium for Advanced Batteries. The consortium brings together over 14 federal agencies interested in ensuring a domestic supply of lithium batteries and are committed to accelerating the development of a robust and secure domestic manufacturing and industrial base. In 2021, the consortium developed the National Blueprint for Lithium Batteries that laid out goals for every step of the battery supply chain. Recognizing the fundamental role of industry in driving this change, a key partner in the Department of Energy and this consortium's goals is LiBridge. Established in 2021, LiBridge is a public-private alliance led by Argonne National Lab and supported by private industry facilitation through NatBat International, New Energy Nexus, and New York Battery Energy Storage Technology Consortium. Additionally, in March of this year, Department of Energy and the European Commission announced support for a collaboration between the European Battery Alliance and the U.S. LiBridge Alliance to accelerate development of robust supply chains for lithium-ion and next-generation batteries, including the critical raw materials. These efforts are imperative in achieving President Biden's goal to have electric vehicles make up half of all vehicle sales in America by 2030. Finally, while many of the reports and investments have included a strong emphasis on building domestic capacity here in the United States, Our department is also dedicated to supporting a global energy transition. As noted previously, in order to combat the climate crisis, production will need to scale rapidly, and international relationships will be crucial in not only diversifying and expanding supply chains, but also in reducing import vulnerabilities for both the United States as well as our partners and allies. Especially in the area of critical minerals, the Department of Energy has long-standing bilateral and multilateral partnerships intended to diversify supply, promote sustainability, and enhance energy security. For instance, the Department of Energy collaborates both with Canada and Australia through U.S.-Canada and U.S.-Australian action plans. We play a leading role in diversifying supply chains through research and development and policy coordination in the Conference on Critical Minerals, which includes Australia, Canada, Japan, and the European Union. We invest in sustainability standards development through participation in the International Standards Organization's technical committees. We're also investing in fortifying national defense and reducing supply risks. We're extremely excited to sign a memorandum of agreement with the Department of State and Department of Defense in February to set aside a portion of the national defense stockpile for the minerals and materials critical to our energy transition. Furthermore, the agreement supports the 2022 IEA Ministerial Communique that launched a voluntary critical mineral security program to coordinate stockpiling, recycling, and transparent supply chain mechanisms. And finally, last but not least, we are working closely with our interagency colleagues on their joint efforts with the governments of the Democratic Republic of the Congo and Zambia to boost mining capacity and improve regulatory standards. We fully support the technical assistance and additional efforts on labor and governance issues. The technological and material basis for our world is changing rapidly. It does not escape me, and I'm sure it does not escape this informed audience, that the birth of the lithium-ion battery was driven in no small part by fundamental concerns about energy security and the need to diversify power sources. Despite notable cobalt market tumult since the lithium-ion battery's invention, the fundamental properties of cobalt made it a winning choice in the laboratory. Simple cobalt oxide offers the best mix of providing a high voltage, yielding excellent energy density and moving lithium ions around easily. The focal points that this Climate Institute has identified for this conference: the green, equitable, and just transition, cobalt's role in transitioning to a net zero world in a rights-respectful manner, and cobalt in the circular economy are essential conversations. There is way too much riding on the clean energy transition to have anything less than ethical, equitable, sustainable, and transparent supply chains. We've come a long way since the lithium-ion battery's invention, but we still have much, much more work to do. And the Department of Energy will do our part by investing in all aspects of the clean energy transition, from extraction to deployment to reuse and recycling. If you've not interacted with us here at the Department of Energy, historically, I urge you to connect with us. As I emphasized to international partners at the climate conference in Glasgow last year, this is an all-hands-on-deck moment. The transition will require participation by citizens, by government, industry, working together to build more sustainable, transparent, and resilient supply chains that benefit all. Thank you very much, and best of luck in your discussions.